Bought a bit of a collection of plants from the garden centre the other day. Some of these are destined for the alpine raised bed, but most of them I'm going to cram into this container. So today what we're going to do is fill this tiered container, which you've probably seen in one of my other videos, but the key to it is to get it level in the area which you want it to stay longer term. I'm planting this up outdoors a little bit earlier than I'd probably normally like to. We've got a bit of an opportunity now, and hopefully the frosts in the middle of the UK have disappeared. Who knows? Anyway, we'll see what we can do. So this is a clever little watering system in these containers. So there's a little reservoir in here with little holes along the side, and once that's full, then it drips through and comes out of this little mouth here at the front and goes into the next container down, so on and so on and so on. But the key to it is, as you can possibly see here, the water here is sitting on the right hand end of this because the containers aren't level. So ideally get them level, put a little bit of gravel, 10mm gravel or so, in the bottom of this little trough here, this little area, and then that'll help the drainage, and it'll make sure that you get a good water supply to all of your different plants. So now I'm going to fill that with a little bit of grit and multi-purpose compost, and then we're going to just fill it as tight as possible with the plants that we've got. Hopefully you can see I've just put a little bit of grit about, just fill the little trough at the bottom of the plant with, this is actually horticultural grit, which is a bit expensive, but 10mm washed gravel would be ideal. I've now filled the different containers with multi-purpose compost, or you can add some multi-purpose compost mixed with a bit of Johnniness, some gum ready mixed, and then I use something like this all-purpose continuous release plant food, which I just put a little bit into each container, and that'll keep it fed, because the quality of what's in the ordinary multi-purpose compost bags, particularly the cheap ones, won't be that great. It won't feed it for that long, so this is a good way of keeping all your blooms and plants strong. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the top. And like these, make sure your plants are all nicely watered before you put them in, because then they'll grow better. Just going to break those roots away just a little bit. There we are. Plant those in to the depth they were in their pots, and those are allegedly trailing ones. put them at the top because they're taller than most of what the other plants are that we've got. So we just add a few more bits in between. The idea is to cram as many plants as you can into each container, and then you'll find you'll get more flower and maybe a bit less greenery, more flower. So just pack them in as tight as you can, and then just continue down with your other tiers, and you should have a fantastic display. I'm going to put some impatiens, or busy lizards as they're commonly known, in some of the other tiers, and a few other little things that look quite pretty. So hopefully it should be reasonably spectacular. So there we are, that's all quite tightly planted up. I've left some of the labels in the containers because people always ask you what the different plants are often do, and I can never remember them, so there's no shame in not remembering the names of the plants, but it does help if you've got the labels there, and then you can point people in the right direction. It looks a bit tatty at the moment, with particularly the impatiens or the busy lizards, because they were ready to be planted out. So put a little bit of slow release food in there, and I'll now give them a good thorough watering and make sure that the tiered support is level, and then hopefully they will water themselves fairly accurately, and there should be fantastic blooms. I'm going to put them on this east facing wall where they'll get the early morning sun. Hopefully should be the heat of the wall should protect them a bit from any last minute frost we get, but hopefully in the middle of England now we should be reasonably okay. Famous last words. Now put the tiered planter in its final position. I've put a little bit of decking board underneath the foot at the bottom there, just to level it up, and that'll make sure it waters more efficiently. I'll let that come on now, and I'm sure it'll be very, very vibrant, and we'll really enjoy it, I'm sure. Nearly forgot to say, don't forget to give it a really good watering.